Has anyone here ever watched the movie Inception? If you have, y'all know it plays around with the idea of being able to control your dream and do amazing things while in it. Now, what if I were to tell you that was actually possible? This is possible through what is called lucid dreaming, a state of consciousness where you are aware that you are dreaming and are able to control your dream in any way you want. Other than being able to control your dreams, practicing lucid dreaming offers many benefits. It enables you to be able to problem solve while you're dreaming. It can also increase your attentiveness and retention when interacting with large amounts of information. In this speech, I will inform you all of the history behind lucid dreaming, the science behind it, and how to do it yourself, from the research I've gathered from various databases, interviews, and etc. To start, I would like to tell y'all the history and science behind lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming has been in practice for thousands of years, being practiced in many different ways and under many different names. In ancient India, they practiced ways of directing consciousness in a dream, with works such as the Vidyan by Rav Tantra, describing the practices under Hinduism. These practices would also eventually reach Tibet, influencing the Buddhist monks there. In ancient Greece, philosophers such as Aristotle and Plato described their experiences of lucid dreaming in their works and treatises. Many modern scientists today, such as Stephen LaBerge, a psychophysiologist from Stanford, also study lucid dreaming and the benefits it offers. Though lucid dreaming might sound mystical, it has real science behind it. Most of our dreams occur in a stage of the sleep cycle called REM sleep. It is the stage where cerebrum, the part of our brain where most of our thought and action happens, is active as when we are awake. Lucid dreaming is a part of this as it influences the brain being conscious during this time while not being fully awake. Trying to find out if lucid dreaming was a form of science or not, it was first scientifically proven in the lab by Keith Hearn when he registered eye movements in a test who was sleeping, which was also a sign of REM sleep. Researchers also involved with the National Institutes for Health have also done experiments involving lucid dreaming to prove this. According to an experiment of theirs archived in the National Center for Biotechnology Information, when they attempted to find a physiological correlation between the body and the brain in a lucid state, they found that lucid dreaming puts the brain in a state of both sleep and consciousness. Now that you've heard of the history and science behind lucid dreaming, there's only one point remaining. How do you do it? There's a lot of ways you can put yourself in a state where you can induce lucid dreaming, of which I will tell you all a couple that have been proven to work after practice. You can suggest and believe yourself and that you will be able to control your dream before going to sleep, making it more likely that you will lucidly dream. You can put yourself in a meditative state, letting your body fall asleep while your mind stays fully conscious. This can be achieved by shutting out any external input to your senses and letting your body relax. You can also rehearse the image of a subject of interest before going to sleep, making it the focus of your mind before going to sleep and the basis for your lucid dream. For example, in an interview with Deidre Barrett, a Harvard Assistant Clinical Professor of Psychology, he states that this method can be very useful to avoid accidental dreaming of another subject or nightmares so you have complete mastery of the dream. These are just a few of the few methods that can be used to let yourself lucidly dream. As I said previously before, it does take some practice to achieve, and not every attempt will result in a conscious dream. To conclude, lucid dreaming is a practice with many concepts. From ancient Greeks, Indians, and even people today, it has still remained a practice in many parts of the world. It is an actual science with many scientists and researchers studying the phenomenon and effects involved with lucid dreaming. There are also many methods of achieving a state of dreaming lucidly, all of which involve the brain being partly conscious through it. By telling y'all the history, science, and methods involving lucid dreaming, I hope I have piqued y'all's interest in the topic. I thank you all for taking the time to listen to my speech. Thank you.